What's up, guys? Welcome back to the College Gymnastics Recap Show. I'm your host, Coach John Lucas. Let's dive right into it. Big news this week in NCAA men's gymnastics. Let's take a look at some of the top scores from around the country, the rankings, and watch some videos. So first, let's take a look at how the standings are currently with Week 3 results input into the computer. Atop of the leaderboard, no surprise, Oklahoma. Oklahoma improved their team score by 2.3 points to get a 412.2, the highest score recorded in the NCAA. They did not change in standing from last week. Stanford also holds their spot at number 2. However, their team dropped 5.45 in the team score. Nebraska had a bye and was able to hold on to their third place from last week. Big news was Navy. Navy Gymnastics improved their score by 13.35 points, or third highest score in the NCAA. That moved them up to 4th. They were in 6th place. Michigan had their first appearance, and they were able to score a 400 flat. That ranked them 5th, right ahead of Illinois, who dropped 2 places in the standings from last week. Their Week 3 score was a 394.2. That's 9.25 points down from the previous week. Ohio State had their first appearance, where they scored a 397.6, which puts them in 7th place. Penn State is in 8th. Week 3 score was a 390.35. That is down 13.05 points from the previous week. Minnesota also dropped in the rankings by 2. They scored a 398.65 in Week 3. Iowa, at their first meet of the season, scored a 393.1. Arizona State in Week 3 scored a 380.7. UC Berkeley dropped 2 places in the standings. They're now ranked 12th. They scored a 385.7, which is 2.85 up from the previous week. Army dropped 4 places in the rankings. They're now at 13th. They scored a 372.6, 15.95 points down from last week. William & Mary moved down 1 place in the ranking to 14th, even though 3 teams moved in ahead of them that were not in the rankings last week. So they really actually gained ground on most of their close opponents. They scored a 382.8, which was 5.25 up from last week. Washington is in 15th. They had a bye this week. Springfield dropped 2 places to 16th and only 4.5 tenths down in team score, so very consistent scoring for them. Air Force dropped 6 places and is now in 17th. They had a rough meet at Cal against Cal and Stanford. Temple dropped 3 places with a score of 356.45. They're now in 18th place. UIC is in 19th place. Southern California United had a bye. They're in 20th. Northern Illinois had their first meet of the season. They scored a 298.3. That score is good enough to qualify them to the USA Gymnastics Collegiate National Championships. They are ranked 21st. NorCal United had a bye this week. They're ranked 22nd. New York Alliance is ranked 23rd. Their team score of a 131.25. So that's where the college rankings stand. Next thing, we're going to take a look at some routines. So we're going to take a look at some of the top scores. The first event we're going to look at is floor. On floor, Gage Dyer of Oklahoma put up, again, the highest score in the country. This time, it was a 15.15. That is an enormous score. Let's take a look. Double pike with could have been a 1/10 hop. It was a very good landing. Much better on the stretch double-double. Sticks the bounding pass that I think he had 5/10 off on last week. Really good. Huge double front. That was big. I like the presentation there, the flare going into that. Does his non-acrobatic skill. He's got to hold it for 2 seconds to not get a deduction. Looks like he does. So far, landings have been better for Gage. And another stick. sticks the dismount. So he had 3 passes that he didn't stick, all of which were probably a 10th off. That was an excellent, excellent routine. 15.15. Really, really high score. Okay, next up, Pommel horse. The top score in the country this week was from Matthew Martin of Army with a 14.2. He defeated both Alex Frack and Steven Edoroshik of Penn State. Mounts with a McCulloch. Scissor full back into the middle so that he'll get a D and a C for that, then picks up into circles. There's the full kier. Ooh. Good fight to stay on. There's a half Savato for a B. There's a Magyar for a D. Full Savato for a D. Struggles a little on the handstand, so he'll get a deduction for that. Not quite as strong as the 15.5 that we saw last week, but that was still a pretty good pommel horse routine. Pommel horse is one of those events that's really difficult to get a big score on. Matthew Martin getting the victory, getting the highest score in the NCAA. Next up, we're going to move on to still rings. Still rings, the high score happened at the Windy City Invitational from Max Diab of the University of Illinois. Let's take a look at that. Back kip to Maltese. Very nice. So that'll be an E. And then a Zarian Maltese. Another E. So starts off with a point in difficulty of strength, and then does a bounce to cross to add 4 more tenths to the start value, up to 1.4 in difficulty, just in strength. Now he's got to perform a swing element. Does pike, followed by tuck to Yamawaki. Nicely done back of Bryce cross. Picked up a little swing, so he could lose a little bit for that. But overall, he's doing really good, showing good positions. Holding his handstands. Could have a little straighter line, so he'll have small deductions in the handstand. Double-double. Almost stuck the landing. Very good routine on rings. And the top score of the week goes to Max Diab. That has a 14.05 on that score. Next up, we're going to take a look at the top vault in the country. So this is Vitaly Gumirez of Oklahoma on the vault. Does a Yurchenko entry, 2.5 twist with a stick. Yurchenkos have a tendency to be cleaner than Suks because it's much easier to maintain good position and good execution in the pre-flight, where it's much easier to have a straddle or deduction leading into the table for a Suk. So really, really nice vault from Vitaly. The top score in the country was from Ryan McVeigh. It was a 14.5 on parallel bars, which was the top score so far on that event. We do not have video of that, so we're going to take a look at the top all-around gymnasts P-bars, which was a 14.3, just 2 tenths behind. This will be Shane Wiskus on P-bars. Shane, I really love watching his gymnastics. He has such a good look. Really looks like he could be a top international competitor for the U.S. Mounts with a whip. Heelys out. Really clean so far. Little off on the peach, probably a 10th. Very clean on the giant. He does a pretty good job of showing the extension prior to landing in the upper arm on that Suarez element. Nice and clean on the Diamondov. Straddle 5/4. I like how big this routine is, how packed with difficulty. There's the Bofsar. Very nicely done. Of course, to pelt back in. Okay, biggest deduction was probably the landing on that dismount. Very good routine. 14.3 final score from Shane Wiskus, one of the top parallel bar scores at the weekend, and he was the top all-arounder with an 83.55. Very big score for Shane Wiskus. Good to see his all-around debut. I'm excited for his season and to see him at the Winter Cup. The last score we're going to take a look at is high bar. Cash Busk of Navy had the top score on high bar with a 14.5. Navy did not upload that routine, so instead we're going to take a look at another high bar routine, one at the top of the weekend. It was a 13.85 from Gage Dyer, who we saw a little bit earlier in the program on floor. So let's take a look at Gage and high bar. Milwaukee Ginger combo, very nice, good connection, right into a front giant out of the endo. Talk half, good quast, one arm giant, nice staccato. And with a half. A little labored on that, he'll get deducted on the giant out. A little miss shy of handstand on the Stalder. And dismount, gets the stick. So that was one of the best high bar routines from the weekend. As I said, the top all-around gymnast was Shane Wiskus, who had that 83.55. Very good score for Shane. Overall, this week was an exciting week for men's college gymnastics. All right, that's all for me. I hope you guys get a chance to go on Road to Nationals, look at some of these scores, watch some of the videos, follow your teams, make sure that you're plugged in with them on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. Watch the live streams when they come out, and we will see you guys next week. If you guys stayed this long in the video, thank you for that. I think you guys should go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new content. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I'm really excited to share with you my opinions on college gymnastics, so let me know what you guys are thinking about men's college gymnastics. All right, that's all for me.